Phoenix here, and today I am going to be reviewing my car, my beautiful 1.6 Astra 2009 design. Now that is a mouthful. It's also a 3-door, so it is the sport hatch, and pretty much for a first car, it's a lot of car for your money. So I'm going to be reviewing it today, telling you all the good things, all the bad things, what the things I like about it, what the things I don't like about it. Yes, it is biased because I like the car and it is my car, but either way, it's a good review. If you guys want to buy this in 2019, I would definitely recommend it, but I'll get into that at the end of the video once I've actually explained the ins and outs of the car.
Check your body. You can sleep longer. Let's not sleep together. You can sleep longer. Let's not sleep together. Check your ball. Check your ball. Check your ball. Check your ball. Underground. Check your body, check your body. You can sleep longer. Let's not sleep together. You can sleep longer. Let's not sleep together.
Basically guys, in the review of this car, I'm going to be talking about everything like the reliability of it, how much I like it, what sort of comfort it is, the sound quality of the speakers, basically a full quality test of what it's like to have in 2019, because it is an 09 car and it's old for its age. Now I'm going to point out straight away that when I bought this car, it has had 9 previous owners, so I'm not expecting anything amazing to come out of this. So far I've had a bulb gone on the brake light, but that's kind of genuine, like it just happens. And then I've also got a slightly squeaky noise with the engine, but as far as I know, that's not going to fail me mechanically, and it is like, it's known as a kind of disaster for some people, and it's got a bad name in the community of like car lovers, but I think it's actually good for what it is. I haven't driven it long enough to know fully, but as far as I know, it is actually a good car and fairly reliable for its age. That's all I'm going to say for that. Now, I've got a message on my watch, so I'm going to quickly, no, I'll reply to that later. So if you follow me around here, I am going to get in the driver's seat and drive away. Goodbye. No. So, comfort of this car. As you can see, I've got semi-leather seats. Now, when I bought it, there were little scratches in it, but that's simple sort of stuff. You can't really be bothered about that. Very sort of comfy. It hugs you quite nicely as well. With it being a sport hatch, it's got those sort of racy sort of seats, if you know what I mean. Then you've got some leather stitching along the side of the door, very nice trims, and some very nice sexy speakers down there. Now, before I continue in this video, I must point out, yes, I have a poo in the side of my door. Do not be jealous of the poo. It is a poo, love the poo. Gotta love that poo. Now, that's nothing to do with the car, so you guys are probably getting bored of me. So, as you can see, on the dash we have the fuel gauge, we've got the rev count, and then we've got the speedo, and then just down here we also have the miles that we've got. Now, I'm going to point this out whilst in the driver's seat. You have the very weird sort of indicator thingies. I forgot what these are called actually, but on the indicator side, as you can see, if you pull it down, it's very weird. Like, it bounces straight back up and it doesn't stay there. So it's one of those indicators where you don't just flick it down, it stays, and you've got to flick it back up. It bounces back up, so it is weird. I'll get into that a bit more later. Now, if you come around that side, Darren. So what we have here on the dash, we've got quite a lot of options. So when I say you get a lot of car for your money, you do get quite a lot of car for your money, especially for the age of it. So as you can see, we've got very nice like piano black dash, which you will only get in the Design and the Elite, I think it is. Design, Elite and VXR. So that's quite a rare sort of option here. Then you've also got the standard sort of stereo. You've got all the buttons, channels, FM, AM, CD, channels backwards and forwards, volume. You've got your heaters, everything you basically need to heat up and down here, fan power, everything you basically need to know. And then you've got a few controls on the left side here, which controls the small screen on the dash, which can tell you your average miles per gallon that you're doing, the time, the weather, that sort of stuff. So it's actually quite handy for how old the car actually is. Now in here, you've got quite a nicely spaced glove box. You can fit quite a bit in there. As you can see, I do already have quite a bit in there. Same sort of stuff on that side of the door. I don't have any car mats yet, so don't attack me in the comments for that. I need to buy some car mats, but it's quite a nice, like, fluffy car. You gotta love the inside of the car. Now I will pull the latch here, as you can see, pull the seat forward, and then you have the back. Now, if you look at the back, it looks quite small and compact. So it is a sports hatch. You would expect it to be small and compact, but this is where things are going to be making a bit of a change. I'll come around to the back now. So as you can see, I'm now in the back, and this back seat for a sports hatch has so much room. Like, I've had a lot of people that have sat in the back and they've all said they've got enough leg room. Like, if I sit behind my seat here, as you can see, I've got enough room to kick my legs about. It's got a lot of room because it is a long car. So for the back, it isn't bad. And these seats genuinely are like a sofa. They are so comfy. The extra bits of leather just feel so nice, and they've got that wealth sort of feel to them. Then you've got a couple of drinks holders down the sides here, and obviously the big speakers. So when I get to the sound test, you will see how good these speakers actually are. But in the back, it's going to be like a bass fest back here. So moving on to the back of the car, as you can see, one complaint I'm going to say for the back of the car, you do get quite a lot of dirt. Now that is simply because it is a black car. So if you had a different coloured Astra, you wouldn't have this problem as much, but I happen to have a black one, so yes, the dirt just does attach to it. So it's not because I haven't cleaned it, but as you can see, if I just rub my hand along here, yeah, you get quite a lot of dirt, and oh, that's just made that worse. Whoops. So it's just because it's black, it attaches a lot of dirt, so don't worry about that too much, guys. Now, moving on into the boot. Again, for a sports hatch, you'd actually have a decent amount of space. Now, I can't complain with that. For the job that I do, it's not amazing because it dips down here, so you can't knock this down. It's just bleh, and you can't slide things in easy. But for like your day-to-day shopping, it's not too bad. As you can see in here, this doesn't come with the car. This is just a little tool set that I've got spare, just in case I happen to need to fix my car with a breakdown or anything. Now, a common thing with Astras is these are a bit weak, so these can pop off easily, but that can easily be fixed. You just either glue this back onto the actual fabric bit, whatever it's called, I don't know what that bit's called, or you can just pop it back on. It latches back on fairly easy. You ain't got to worry about that whatsoever. So, I'm not trying to sell you my car, but it's a bloody good car. So continuing with boot space, if you don't feel you have enough boot spaces already, because obviously sometimes you're going to need to fit a lot more in your boot, like a massive box or more shopping or whatever you carry in the boot, the kids, that sort of stuff, you can do this. Now, basically what you're going to do here is you just push the seatbelt slightly to the side, push inwards on the back seat here, and then you pull it down. Now, as I talk about this, I'm not going to do this one, I'll keep this one, but as you can see, you do get an extra bit of space. Only problem is, because of these leather seats and the way they puff out, because it's a sport, you can't push it down fully flat, so it will go up, and then you've got a bit of a dint here. So it's not super flat. You're not going to be able to fit too much stuff in without this being a slope, so that is a negative that I've got to say. But overall, for a sports hatch, you can't complain. This is a good amount of boot space that you're really going to need. So if you're going to need more than that, you might as well just get a estate sort of car or a much bigger car than a sports hatch. But for a sports hatch, that's what I'm trying to say here, it is a big amount of space. I've just locked the seatbelt. No, come back to me seatbelt. So, under the bonnet, as you can see, we have an Ecotec engine, and it is a 1.6 if you remember me saying at the start. You've got the car battery here, that's a black box, ignore that, that's not standard. That is just because I cannot insure this car without that. Then you've got all your basic bits and bobs to the car. It's a bit dirty, I haven't bothered cleaning any of it before, but for the engine sort of way, it's not a bad car. It's pretty powerful, I can say that, but you'd expect that with a bit of a sports hatch. I think when I looked it up earlier, it was 180 horsepower, was it? And it's, like I say, 1.6, so that's 1,600cc, I think that is. And for a starter car, it could be a bit overpowered, but it's not too much to handle. So people always say with Astras you can get a lot of torque steer. This is mainly with the VXR. That is true to a certain extent, but it's not mad, if you know what I mean. It is able to be controlled, so you haven't got much to worry about if your kid does happen to want an Astra and you have enough money to buy one. You've got enough to buy it, pretty much. Shut that. So guys, we are now in the car. As you can see, we've got the engine turned on because it is absolutely freezing outside, and it's just started raining actually, so perfect timing for actually filming the inside. Now, you've already looked around the inside like I've just shown you, but we're just talking about the inside now, so the electronics and everything that you can use in the car. So we'll start off with the sound system. Now, I've got the bass turned up. You do have the option to turn up bass, treble, the overall sound. So if you go into the sound settings, you can do that under the little orange dash that I showed you. But I've got the bass turned fully up because I like the bass. And for volume and quality of the car, the sound is brilliant. So we'll demonstrate that now if you want to play your song.
Alright, this one.
So this is moderate volume, not anything like super loud. And then I'll slowly crank up the volume. You won't be able to tell so much through camera, but you'll be able to get a basic idea. So I'm turning it up now. This is what it sounds like. So there you go, guys. That wasn't fully turned up, so that wasn't full blast. Because like if you do go full blast, then it does distort a little bit in the sound. But up to that point, that is very loud. You can't really tell that much on camera, but it is very loud, and it is very good quality for these speakers in such an old car. I do applaud that. Now you've already got an aux port down here, so again for an old car, an aux cable already built in, perfect. I've got a little attachment. I got this from Halfords for like a tenner, just for USBs, because you don't have a USB port in here. But if you want to charge your phone, it's only a tenner, adds to your car, and it matches the dashboard color actually. So everything is pretty much good in here, and it all works very nicely. Now also down here, I'm pointing to it but you can't see, but basically talking about it, on the right of the steering wheel you have a little dial, and if you turn it to auto, that sets your lights to automatic. So your headlights and brake lights will come on when it's dark, or they'll just come on when basically when they need to come on, so they can sense it. They've got little sensors in it, and it automatically comes on. Again, for an old car, that is impressive. So you've got all sorts of little dials which just figure out your sort of lights, your different light settings. You've got on, off, full beam, blah blah blah. Your full beam is same sort of place. I'm flashing it now, you can't really see it, but yeah, basically everything electronically works perfectly. So
All round, I think it's a decent car too.
yeah, I'll let you do a segment. I'll let you talk about it actually.
Like, obviously, I drive a Ford Fiesta at the moment, and I thought my car was good. But to be honest with you, since your car is a little bit newer than mine, I feel like the back seats are utterly comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
I generally
You've just tried them out today,
yeah.
haven't you?
Like, I'm not saying it because I'm your friend, Ro, but I do generally think like you have bought a gem of a car.
Yeah.
Like, from being in the car a few occasions, I've honestly fallen in love with the sound of the engine, how well it accelerates, how well it brakes. The sound system is unbelievable, and the chairs, they're just so comfy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I just love the car. To be honest with you, I could buy one myself, to be fair.
You'll have to. Astra Crew.
But not black, though.
Oh yeah, not black.
I'd have to get it in red or something like that. I love red.
But yeah, so basically it's an overall good car. Now on the speed dial you saw it goes up to 160. Don't know if it will do 160, probably will actually. But yeah, like Darren said also, it's got a nice sort of purr to the car. I'll give it a quick rev. Can you hear that? I hope you can. It's a nice sounding car. So it drives nice, it drives smooth, it's got like it basically feels like a good solid car. The gears are quite clunky, but that means like they're solid to go into it, they're not really loose. Handbrake feels good. It looks quite short on camera, but it actually is not bad length. But overall, it is a nice car. Now, the only thing I must say for a downside on is fuel consumption. A 1.6 in the Astra range is one of the worst for fuel. It drinks it really quick. So on average, it's drinking on my fuel, it's about 39.5 miles per gallon, which isn't good. You want it to be mid 40s if you want to do it that. So
Mine's 45.
yeah, so
I can
mid
do about-
40s is a sort of like an average miles per gallon
Yeah, I
sort
can do
of
about 480
thing.
miles on a full tank.
Yeah. So fuel economy not amazing, but if you drive well, you can get it there. Like if I'm doing the national speed limit, I can average it about 45 to 50 miles per gallon, but that's as long as I am driving dead smooth, dead careful, and not accelerating hard or anything like that. So it is hard to keep with good fuel economy, but for a downside, I must say it's not amazing at it.
I'll even come back to the car.
So then guys, as you can see, it's a good car overall. It's raining. I would definitely suggest getting an Astra in 2019. Like for a first car, like I say, it is an excellent car. So the only thing I can say really is it's a shame for fuel. Sometimes reliability, depending on what sort of Astra you get. Like if you're lucky with it, make sure you get it lowest mileage you possibly can. But yeah, check it out. Make sure it is a good version of it. And then overall, in 2019, I think this car's going to keep going. It is a good car. So hope you guys enjoyed today's review. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. Smack my bell for notifications if you want to see me set space again. And I will see you all in another one. Phoenix salute out.